Hi, welcome everyone. I'm Friar Tuck. For those of you that are new here, you probably don't know about the transition that's been happening. For those of you that have been following me for the last couple of years, as you guys see, I'm finally starting. As you see, that's where I get to sleep at night. So I have now gone from homeless to housed, but I'm in the almost homeless community because we're still living hand to mouth. It's not like we have lots of money and stuff like that. Our rent is real cheap, and we each have to come up with a certain amount of money and stuff like that. But what I want to talk about is just the reality of off-grid living. Now, one of the things that comes to my benefit versus my road dog's benefit is that I've been out on the road for the last couple of years, so I'm already used to the elements. Even though we're getting in the 20s and stuff like that, we're looking at snow. I've learned how to be able to survive it, even if I don't have all the right gear and all these different things. I have learned how to be able to weather the storm. But when you haven't had any experience doing that, it can really bring you down. And what I'd like to tell everybody is just kind of give you some hope if you're thinking about, oh well, I want to start a homestead, and then or I want to go live off grid, or I want to do something like that. If you're thinking about doing something like that, what I'd like you to consider uh, uh, is the harshness of it. You need to at least have yourself mentally prepared for it, because if you do it in winter, I mean, come on, we're what, in the middle of November, coming up on December, and then you also have you have no water, no electricity, none of this stuff. It can really, if you're used to having all the amenities of centralized society, well, this is going to be probably a rough time for you to start, or even in the summer, because you're used to central heating and air, and your body is going to take about 2 years to acclimate to it. Right now, because I've been doing this for the last couple of years, something like this doesn't even faze me, whereas my road dog, my friend, this is facing that individual, a little bit, to where it becomes hard to deal with, especially when you're first exposed to it. But what I'd like to tell you is that it will get better. You need to take some time and just get used to it. You need to understand how to kind of shore up yourself, because if you go out in the summer, it's going to be too hot. You're going to be like, what do I do? And then when it's winter, you're going to be, it's too cold, and then you're going to be, what do I do? So it doesn't matter. It's not about what time of year you go out, because you're so used to the heating and air that it's really not going to make much of a difference for you. And so if you're thinking about doing something like this, understand it's going to be very trying, because you're going to be putting your body in shock, because you're not going to be used to all the different elements. If you could just shut off your power and your water for 2 weeks to your house, one, it'd save you quite a bit of money, or maybe if you have the right system set up, or at the very least, it would teach you, the basics that you're going to have to go through in order to be able to survive an off-grid situation. Because again, part of being off-grid means that you're not getting all the amenities of society. And to most people, they think it sounds cool, but when they actually get out into it, they're like, oh wow, this was not what I expected. And a lot of people will tuck tail and go home unless they're there by circumstance and they have no other choice. Then they're just going to be miserable for the next couple of years. But that's really what I wanted to talk about on this subject. For those of you that have been with me and watching this transition, I wanted to give you a little bit of an update. I'm going to show you some footage of the fence that we've been building for the livestock. We finally got it complete. Most of the way complete, enough to where, because tomorrow we are going into town to do food shopping, because food stamps come in, and then we're also going to the labor ready so that we can get general labor gigs. They have some snow plow, some construction work, and some house cleaning. So maybe we might be able to get a little bit of work to kind of offset some of the stuff that's going on, because like I said, we're going to be working on that. This is, I've only been doing this for a few days. I think that we're doing quite well as far as getting our foundation under us, getting traction together, and starting to get out there and look for work, and make sure that we can keep the roof over our head. Because for those of you that are like me, that are trying to transition out of homelessness and would like to transition into something that might actually work for them, let me offer you a suggestion. There are places where you can get land for fairly cheap, like maybe $5,000 to $10,000 an acre, for something that's decent that you can actually use, and maybe turn into something that's habitable, so that you've got a static place to be. and you can still live outside, still do all the stuff that you've been doing, because it'll be a lot easier for you, especially if you've been in this lifestyle before. But at the same sense, it gives you an opportunity to build, because what we're looking at doing is, before spring comes, we need to put together at least $1,000 or more so that we can see about getting some creative financing for some land, and that will allow us to actually move in and start building our permanent structures. But we want to actually have the spring and summer to actually to deal with it, because we're not going to have something like this, shed like this. It's going to cost us a bit, and we want to make sure that we've got the land taken care of before we even start thinking about other things, as far as like putting structures on it and stuff like that. But for those of you that are kind of wondering what's going on, what we're doing, everything's going good. Everything's moving pretty fast. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys some of the work that we've done, and give you guys a little bit of footage of the property and some of the work that we've started working on. So thanks for joining me. You guys know how to help the channel. Everything's down in the description. I'm supported by crowdfunding. That's memberships. That's Patreon, and that's here on YouTube. Everything helps so that we can make sure to keep moving up as we go through this experience, and we'll be able to share our knowledge and our journey along with you. I mean, that's kind of the symbiotic relationship we have. So thanks for watching, and enjoy this extra footage from some of the stuff that we've been doing.